Hello, hello, hello. You're tuning to the episode of TheWunderkindShow. Today's second topic, Derrick Henry makes the top 5 on PFF's top 100 ranking. Look. Guys, this is kind of crazy. Now, if y'all watched my previous video, it was about Ja'Marr Chase, Triple Crown winner, historical wide receiver Ja'Marr Chase, missing the top 20 on this list. Now, I kept going through this. I'm like, okay, let's see what's on this list. And I read all the way down. Of course, I skipped what they did on Twitter. And Derrick Henry was ranked number 5. Oh. And I know Philadelphia Eagles fans are going to be mad because Saquon Barkley was ranked 10th. So what I'm going to do is we're going to break this. I'm going to read to you what they wrote about Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley, and we're going to break it down the race. So without further ado, let's get this started because, mind you, I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm not saying that they're right. But it does seem a little bit peculiar with everything that Saquon accomplished, and he barely made the top 10. And Derrick Henry's over him. So check this out. So it says, Derrick Henry, Baltimore Ravens, Henry reinforced himself as an opposing defense's worst nightmare. After joining Lamar Jackson in Baltimore's backfield, he led the NFL with a 93.5 rushing grade and an 88 missed tackles forced. He quickly became key to the Ravens' offensive operation as they were undefeated in the 11 games in which he ran for at least 90 yards. It seems almost unfair that a 30-year-old Henry is the first running back since 2012 to average at least 6 yards per carry across at least 150 carries. So statistically, like I said, and I brought this up in one of my videos, if the Ravens didn't kind of falter at the end, they would have had like greatest show on turf potential. Like, because a lot of the statistics lean towards the Ravens when comparing against one of the greatest formed teams in NFL history. At least one of the most memorable, to say the least. So check this out. Now, mind you, I'm fair. I read everything, right? Now, look what they said about Saquon Barkley. Now, it said, Saquon Barkley, Philadelphia Eagles. Barkley turned in a historic performance this season, racking up over 2,500 rushing yards. If we include the postseason, he led the NFL with 55 explosive runs this season, while finishing second with 83 missed tackles forced. Barkley becomes the Eagles' closer this season as he led all running backs in attempts, rushing yards, and touchdowns in fourth quarter of games. So, you notice how they tweaked that and said closer and then put out all that, led all running backs in attempts, rushing yards, and touchdowns for fourth quarter games. That's a very, very niche perspective to say. But nonetheless, we're talking about the offensive player of the year. Saquon Barkley was not only dynamic, he helped open up the pass game, he was dependable, he was explosive. Him and Derrick Henry and a couple other guys, Bijan and them, reminded the league owners, GMs, front offices across this nation that running backs are still kings. Still kings. Because they were getting in the kicker territory, and I think Derrick Henry had talked about it, about their pay scale. They were getting paid just as much as kickers, or at the same pay rate as kickers. Now, here's where this comes into play real quick, right? Now, 2 mitigating factors on why this could be. Could it be because Philadelphia's offensive line was just that great? That they said Saquon was great, but he's running through big gaps, big holes very easily. Pause. But then if they said that, right, and also saying that he's playing next to Jalen Hurts, so playing next to a running quarterback helps open up lanes even further, then you could say the same thing about Lamar Jackson and a Derrick Henry with the way the way Lamar opened up the run game because of his electric play ability. Now, where the two differ, and I think this was the biggest thing, was the O-line. Because, let me tell you something right now. Baltimore Ravens O-line did not come close to the Philadelphia Eagles O-line. And I mean, not close. It's not even personal. It's not even an argument. You can't even look at it and be like, oh, maybe they're all big guys. Maybe they have some similarities. No, they have no similarities. None. The Baltimore Ravens O-line got beat so much, so often, that they had to try to trick people into believing Filet, whatever you want to call him, was a Pro Bowler. When every Raven fan's like, bro, are y'all out of your minds? Like, what are you guys watching? Now, look, Derrick Henry had an amazing season. I covered this before. 1,900 yards. He almost had 2,000 yards rushing. And on top of it, Saquon sat out the last game of the season so that he wouldn't be injured, which looks like the smart thing to have done. Even though he did not get the record, he got the Super Bowl. So he's not going to be complaining about it. He's like, yo, I got 2,000 yards, and I got the Super Bowl the same year. Shoot. I didn't get the record, but I can live with it, right? Derrick Henry has been a phenomenon since he stepped on the field. With his brawly, big, just brolic frame to move the way he moves and runs. You ever watch Dragon Ball Z with Android, I believe 16? And then everyone was like, they thought he was the weakest out of the 3 androids. And they come to find out he was the big bad wolf out of the 3 androids. And he matched up against Cell perfectly. That's Derrick Henry. They're like, man, the big dude, oh my God. But they're like, but 17 and 18 are better. And then you find out now 16 are stronger. That's Derrick Henry. And it almost works out perfectly because how androids have unlimited energy, Derrick Henry seems to be aging in reverse because this past year was his best statistical season of his career. And this is a guy that has already rushed for over 2,000 yards. So make no mistake about it. I agree. He's top 10. Both of them should be top 10. But it kind of caught me off guard or left me slightly perplexed that he was over Saquon Barkley. Because Saquon Barkley was the offensive player of the year. But I'm trying to wonder how they're doing this stuff. Now, I'm not going to touch on where they put Lamar. I'll tell you where they put Lamar tomorrow. Because you know it's going to hit Twitter. And I'll touch on that. I'm not going to argue where they put Lamar. I'm not. Even though, I think he should be higher. Lamar is where he deserves to be. You understand where I'm coming from? So, I'll leave that there and I'll cover that tomorrow. But still, tell me if you're surprised that they put Derrick Henry over Saquon Barkley. And if you are surprised, why do you think they put him over Saquon Barkley? Like, what's the mitigating reasons? Like, if you're surprised by but maybe this was the reason why. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think down in the comment section, please, all right? But as always, that's an episode of The Wunderkind Show! Thank you for watching. Y'all know we get down, we have fun, and we laugh. But everything we talk about, rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. You know I love the comments. And if you haven't done so already, check out The Wunderkind Show's Patreon. Yes! 3 tiers of content goodness waiting for your consumption. Give it a look, give it a try. Let me know what you think. And if you would like to donate to this channel, help out with equipment and such stuff like that, bottom of the screen, QR code. QR codes to a Cash App. Cash App located in the description of every video that we do. Name of it is Money Sign, The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. But once again, it's another episode of The Wunderkind Show. This is Joe Nectar signing off. And as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Huh? Yerp.
Finish him, Daddy.
No!